Hello everyone. Once again, I Devish Jaiswal. Welcome to my lecture on cycloconverter. In this lecture, I will discuss about the basic principle of cycloconverter and step up and step down cycloconverter for the bridge type configuration and midpoint configuration. So now let us start. Usually, AC voltage controllers are used to generate the variable amplitude of AC output voltage at the same frequency of input voltage. In the AC voltage controller, the harmonic content is high, especially at low voltage output range. Generally, the AC variable output voltage at a variable frequency can be generated by using two-stage converters such as controlled rectifier and inverter. Controlled rectifier means fixed AC to variable DC converter, and inverter means variable DC to variable AC at variable frequency. But the cycloconverter can be used to eliminate the requirement of one or more intermediate converters. Actually, cycloconverter is a direct frequency converter or frequency changer which converts AC power at fixed frequency to AC power at variable frequency by fixed AC to variable AC conversion. That is why cycloconverter is called one stage frequency changer. The frequency converter converts one frequency to another frequency or fixed frequency AC input to variable frequency output. Frequency converter is known as cycloconverter. Generally, the output frequency of cycloconverter is always less than input frequency. In the cycloconverter, frequency changes in steps. Usually, cycloconverter is a SCR based converter with natural or line commutations. Cycloconverter is used in very high power applications up to several megawatt. Okay, these application areas may be as low speed induction motor drives, low frequency three phase or single phase induction or traction motor drives, etc. And also to reduce the harmonic current and to improve the efficiency and power factor, the cycloconverter based on force commutation devices are used. Sometimes cycloconverters are used to control the output frequency. So in general, cycloconverters are of two types. First one is step down cycloconverter and second step up cycloconverter. In case of step down cycloconverter, the output frequency is less than supply or input frequency. That is, here F naught is less than Fs. The step down cycloconverters are naturally commutated and output frequency is limited to a value that is a fraction of input frequency. Therefore, these type of cycloconverters are commonly used in low speed AC motor drives, generally up to 15 megawatt, with frequency varies from 0 to 20 hertz. In case of step up cycloconverter, the output frequency is greater than input or supply frequency. That is, F naught is greater than Fs. The step up cycloconverters are forced commutated and output frequency is limited to a value that is multiple of input frequency. Fast switching devices and microprocessors are used in step up cycloconverters to implement advanced conversion strategies. So step up cycloconverters is also known as forced commutated direct frequency changers. Depending upon the phases, these cycloconverters are of three types. First one is single phase to single phase cycloconverter, second three phase to single phase cycloconverter, and third one is the 3-phase to 3-phase cycloconverter. Here we see that these are the applications of cycloconverter. So these are used in speed control of high power AC drives. Second, it is used in induction heating. Third, static VAR compensation. And for converting the variable speed alternator voltage to constant frequency output for the use as power supply in aircraft or shipboards, etc. Now, in order to understand the basic principle of a cycloconverter, here we see that there are two converters. One is P converters and second one is N converters. Both two converters are of two quadrant converters. These two quadrant converters is here represented by its equivalent circuit. Here the diode in this equivalent circuit represents the direction of current flow. Here we assume that both the converters are ideal and produce a ripple free current. The basic principle of cycloconverter is based on continuous modulation of firing angle of the individual converters. The voltage produced by two converters will have the same magnitude, frequency and phase, and the power can flow into the load terminal or out of the load terminal, and load me of any type, so for example R, L or C type. The positive converter produces the positive half cycle of the load voltage, whereas negative converter will produce the negative half cycles. So it is possible to vary the load voltage by varying the firing angle of the SCR connected in both the converters. Now let us see the configuration of cycloconverters. Here we see that this circuit diagram is for single phase to single phase cycloconverter. Here we see that there are two configuration. First one is midpoint type configuration, which is also called center tape transformer type configuration, and second bridge type cycloconverter configuration. Now let us see the step up single phase to single phase cycloconverter. Here we see that there are two configuration, center taped configuration and second bridge type configuration. Here we assume that load is resistive type. Okay, so here in the midpoint cycloconverter configuration, we see that single phase transformer with mid tap on the secondary winding, and there are 4 thyristors P1, N1, P2 and N2. P1 and P2 are for the positive group, and N1 and N2 are for negative group. The load is connected between secondary winding and midpoint O and terminal A. This one is the A terminal. The positive direction of output current and output voltage, here we see that it is marked is plus and minus, and direction right to left. During the positive half cycle of the supply voltage, terminal small a is positive with respect to terminal B. Therefore, in this positive half cycle, SCR P1 and N2, P1 and N2 are forward biased, because current will flow from left to right, means clockwise direction. Therefore, from omega t is equal to 0 to omega t is equal to pi, uh, SCR P1 is turned on at omega t is equal to 0, so that the load voltage is positive with terminal A positive and O negative. Now the load voltage flows the positive envelope of supply voltage. At instant omega t is equal to omega t1, P1 is force commutated and forward biased thyristor N2 is turned on, so that load voltage is negative with terminal O positive and capital A terminal is negative. Now the load or output voltage traces the negative envelope of the supply voltage. At omega t is equal to omega t2, N2 is force commutated and P1 is turned on, and load voltage is now positive and follow the positive envelope of supply voltage. At omega t is equal to pi, the terminal voltage B is positive with respect to terminal small a. Then SCR P2 and N1 are forward biased from omega t is equal to pi to 2 pi. At omega t is equal to pi, N2 is force commutated and forward biased SCR P2 is turned on. Now the P2 is, after that P2 is force commutated and forward biased SCR N1 is turned on. So in this manner, thyristor P1 and N2 for positive half cycle and thyristor P2 and N1 in negative half cycle and so on are switched alternatively between positive and negative envelopes at high frequency. Therefore, as a result, the output voltage of frequency F0 is higher than the supply frequency Fs is obtained. Now let us see the case bridge type cycloconverter. Here we see that it consists of total 8 SCRs P1, P2, P3, P4 and N1, N2, N3 and N4. The 4 positive group P1 to P4 and there are 4 negative group N1 to N4. When small a is positive with respect to X, then there will be positive half cycle. So during positive half cycle, the thyristor P1 and P2 and N1 N2 are forward biased from omega t is equal to 0 to pi. When forward biased thyristor P1, P2 are turned on at omega t is equal to 0, then load voltage is positive with respect to X. So the forward biased thyristor P1 and P2 are turned on together at omega t is equal to 0, so that load voltage is positive with respect to terminal O, means A positive, O negative. Now the load voltage traverses the positive envelope of supply voltage. Here we see that in the waveform. At omega t is equal to omega t1, the pair P1 P2 is force commutated, and forward biased pair N1 and N2 is turned on. Therefore, load voltage is negative with respect to O positive, O positive with respect to capital A negative. Now the load voltage follow the negative envelope of the source voltage. Here at omega t is equal to omega t2, N1 and N2 are force commutated and P1 P2 are turned on. Therefore now load voltage is positive and follow the positive envelope of source voltage. And omega t is equal to pi, means after omega t is equal to pi, the thyristor P3 and P4 are now forward biased. Therefore this can be turned on and force commutated from omega t is equal to pi to 2 pi. Therefore in this manner high frequency turning on and force commutated pairs of P1 P2 N1 N2 and pairs P3 P4 and N3 N4 gives a carrier frequency modulated output voltage across the load terminal. Now let us see the step down cycloconverter. Here we see that this is the midpoint type configuration. In this configuration there will be two mode of operation. One is discontinuous load current mode of operation and second will be continuous load current mode of operation. Here one important thing is that this type of cycloconverter, means step type cycloconverter, does not require the force commutation. These converters need only line or natural commutation, which is provided by the AC supply for both, whether it may be midpoint configuration or bridge type configuration. Now let us see the midpoint configuration for discontinuous load current mode of operation. Here when small a is positive with respect to O, then P1 will be in forward biased. Therefore when it is triggered at omega t is equal to alpha, then current I0 starts flowing through capital A to O, and it will becomes 0 at omega t is equal to beta, which is greater than pi and less than pi plus alpha. At omega t is equal to beta, this thyristor P1 is naturally commutated, which is already reverse biased at pi. After half a cycle, small b is positive with respect to O. Now forward biased P2 is triggered at pi plus alpha. Then again load current is flowing from A to, and it becomes 0 at pi plus beta. This current goes to 0 and P2 is naturally commutated. At 2 pi plus alpha, P1 is again turned on. Therefore here we see that the load current is discontinuous. After 4 positive half cycle of load voltage and load current, thyristor N2 is fired at 4 pi plus alpha when O is positive with respect to B. As this N2 is forward biased, it starts conducting, but the load current direction will be reversed. That it is now from O to capital A. After N2 is triggered, load current starts flowing in negative direction. So here we see that current rises in negative direction. In the next half cycle, O is positive with respect to A, but N1 is fired and I naught current goes to 0, and this N2 is naturally commutated. Now when N1 is fired at 5 pi plus alpha, then I naught current again flowing and it goes to 0 before N2 is sequence is again gated. Therefore in this manner 4 negative half cycle of load voltage and load current will be obtained, which is equal to number of 4 positive half cycle. Now P1 is again triggered to fabricate further 4 positive half cycle of load voltage and so on. Here for the discontinuous load current, natural commutation is obtained, and that is P1 goes to blocking state before P2 is gated. Here we see that the output voltage have frequency F0 will be equal to Fs by 4. Now let us see the step down cyclic converter for bridge type configuration. Here we see that this circuit diagram is the bridge type configuration, where there are total 8 SCRs are used, 4 for positive converter and another 4 for negative converter. So in the operation of bridge type configuration, during the positive half cycle of supply voltage, when small a is positive with respect to small b, then thyristor P1, P2 and N1 and 2 are forward biased. When the triggering pulse is applied to the thyristor P1 and P2 at omega t is equal to alpha, then thyristor P1 and P2 will be turned on, and then current starts to flow in positive direction, and current follow the path small a P1 load P2 small p. At omega t is equal to pi, the input voltage becomes 0, but load current is not 0. It is due to the presence of inductance, that is because load is inductive type. Now the conduction of P1 and P2 can be extended to beta. Here the conduction angle will be beta minus alpha. Therefore the load current is 0 at omega t is equal to beta, and thyristor P1 P2 are naturally commutated and turn off. During the period when omega t is between beta to pi plus alpha, the load current is 0 and it becomes discontinuous. In the negative half cycle of supply voltage, this small b is positive with respect to small a, and thyristor P3 P4 and N3 N4 are forward biased. When P3 and P4 is triggered at omega t is equal to pi plus alpha, then this device P3 and P4 will be turned on, and then current starts to flow in positive direction, and then in this case current will follow the path small b, P3, load P4 and small e. Now at omega t is equal to 2 pi, the thyristor P3 and P4 will be turned off, but due to presence of inductance in load, the conduction period of P3 and P4 will be extended. At omega t is equal to pi plus beta, the load current becomes 0 and the thyristor P3 and P4 are naturally commutated and turn off. The load current is 0 during the period pi plus beta to 2 pi plus alpha. Since thyristor P1 P2 and P3 P4 conduct for the duration beta minus alpha, which is less than 180 degree, so the load current becomes discontinuous. At omega t is equal to 2 pi plus alpha, P1 P2 is again turned on, and load current flows. After 4 positive half cycle of load current and load voltage, the thyristor N1 and 2 is triggered at 4 pi plus alpha when A is positive with respect to B, because N1 and 2 is N1 and 2 is forward biased, so it starts conducting, but load current direction is reversed. So here we see that the load current will flow in opposite direction. Therefore, similar to positive half cycle, the thyristor N1 and 2 and N3 and 4 are sequentially turned on, and each thyristor conducts for their duration beta minus alpha. So from this figure we see that the output voltage and output current waveform is for the 4 positive half cycle and 4 negative half cycle. Therefore, the output voltage and current have the frequency F naught is equal to Fs upon 4. Now let us see the step down cycloconverter for midpoint configuration having continuous load current operation. Here from the figure we see that when A is positive with respect to O, then P1 is triggered at omega t is equal to alpha, and then positive voltage appears across the load, and then load currents starts flowing. At omega t is equal to pi, the supply and load voltage are 0. After omega t is equal to pi, P1 is reverse biased. As the load current is continuous, so P1 is not turned off at omega t is equal to pi. It is due to inductive load. When P2 is triggered at pi plus alpha, a reverse voltage appears across the P1. Therefore, it is turned off by natural commutation. When the P1 is turned off, then load current have value with magnitude here in figure RR. With the turning on of P2, at pi plus alpha, the output voltage is again positive as it was with P1 on. As a consequences, load currents again builds up further after RR magnitude. At omega t is equal to 2 pi plus alpha, when P1 is again turned on, P2 is naturally commutated, and load current through P1 builds up with more magnitude of SR here as we saw in figure. At the end of 4 positive half cycle of output voltage and load current, the load current have magnitude this UR. Now when the N2 is triggered after P2, then load voltage is negative value, and load current I0 decreases from RU to negative magnitude AB. Now N2 is commutated and N1 is triggered at 5 pi by alpha, 5 pi by plus alpha. Load current I0 becomes more negative than AB at 6 pi plus alpha, because with N1 it is due to N1 is on and load voltage is negative. Therefore here we see that from the waveform under steady state condition, the load current I0 is symmetrical about the omega t axis. So the positive group of voltage wave and current wave consist of 4 pulses, which is same as for negative group of wave. Therefore, uh, the output voltage have frequency f naught is equal to fs by 4. Now next is the step down cycloconverter with continuous load current operation for bridge type configuration. Here in figure we see that during the positive half cycle of supply voltage, when small a is positive with respect to small b, then thyristor P1, P2, N1 and 2 are forward biased. When triggering pulse is applied for thyristor P1 and P2 at omega t is equal to alpha, then P1, P2 will turn on, and then current starts flowing through the path small a P1 load P2 P. At omega t is equal to pi, the supply voltage becomes 0, and after omega t is equal to pi, the thyristor P1 and P2 are not reverse biased. It is due to the presence of inductance in load. However, the load current is not 0 at omega t is equal to pi. It is also due to presence of inductive load. So if load is highly inductive, then conduction of thyristor can be extended to a value omega t is equal to pi plus alpha. Here the conduction angle is pi for P1 and P2. Now during the negative half cycle of supply voltage, this small b is positive with respect to small a, then thyristor P3, P4 and thyristor N3 and 4 are forward biased. When the triggering pulse is applied to thyristor P3 and P4 at omega t is equal to pi plus alpha, then P3, P4 will turn on, and this P1, P2 are turned off due to reverse biased. Then current starts flowing through the path small b, P3, load P4 and then small b. At omega t is equal to pi, P3 and P4 will be turned off. Due to presence of inductance, the conduction of P3 and P4 will be extended up to 2 pi plus alpha. Here the conduction angle for T3 and T4 will be pi. Since P1, P2 and P3, P4 conducts for 180 degree duration, means pi duration, so load current is continuous. So P1, P2 and P3, P4 are sequentially turned on, and each thyristor conducts for 180 degree duration for 4 positive half cycle of load voltage and load current. Similarly, we can obtain the negative half cycle, 4 negative half cycle when thyristor N1 and 2 and N3 and 4 are sequentially turned on, and each thyristor conducts for 180 degree duration. Therefore, finally we get the frequency of output voltage F naught will be equal to Fs by 4. So thank you so much for watching this video. In the next video I will discuss about the three-phase cycloconverter. So I request you kindly subscribe my channel for getting the next video lecture. Okay, thank you very much.